that you know and sometimes don't want to face.
Yeah, there is a bit of a huge ranking difference between these two teams. You would expect MIBR to be the favourites on that basis alone, but the realistic factor is that, well, anything can happen with Asian CS. TYLOO on for an upset as the pistol goes live. MIBR over on that CT side, but the USP's pulled out. No upgrades across either side, just those pieces of Kevlar. No kits in for the CT forces, the util on BnTeT.
Now, without that mid player, it means there's a lack of information of a spotter. Molly going down towards that window position. DanKing actually taking a little bit of damage to get ahead of that. Fast play up towards connected. JOTA spots it.
Gets that one kill for it, but only one kill. Summer immediately responds. Exit now with a swing back, but now BnTeT gonna strike in here towards Dark, doing so much damage to the next two individuals, but attack it in from Palace will deal with him the same. A 3-on-2 as the damage just keeps just coming in against MIBR, pounding against the CT side. Cello on 18, Turtle on 1. They had brought it to a 2-on-2, but they've lost the A site.
The bomb is going in towards that window position and now actually coming back towards CT spawn. It gives themselves some leverage to put pressure down on towards connector. And Attack has seen the duel onto Cello.
Yeah, plant secured. 6 HP for the retake on the MIBR players, and again, no kit brought into the round. It was all Kevlar, so not even any utility for that matter. One bullet will make the difference on either player, you'd imagine. Attacker is waiting for his chance to strike, sitting back at the default boxes as MIBR walk their way forward, slowly, surely, and quietly, but right into the hands of BnTeT, who gets his double and gets the pistol for TYLOO.
And this is already the wackiness, right? Coming straight off of the back of the pistol. We always know Asian CS, you don't know what to expect. You've got a fast play in towards connector, and then the bomb diving in towards CT spawn, forcing that 2v2. BnTeT being able to make the damage happen on the site directly, and even some of the OGs, Summer and Attacker, getting really involved in that round. Not only have they been a part of the lineup for 3 years, Jay, but they've been a part of TYLOO in the past as well and other iterations.
Yeah, a lot of history with this lineup, a lot of history with this organization. Going back many, many moons, if you will.
Very deadly org at 1.6. I mean, that already speaks volumes of how long they've been going for.
Just in global offensive alone, like, their achievements can be racked up to be one of the more experienced names in this conference stage. See whether that experience will pay off for them. As of right now, it's careful placement on the TYLOO side, expecting a force buy from MIBR.
I do like the pressure being applied out towards the B site into the apartments rather than playing really deep for MIBR. DanKing thinking about the re-smoke towards that window position. Now notice the way, Jay, there isn't actually a lot of SMGs being brought down in this second round for TYLOO. You've got that one MAC-10 in for DanKing. You've actually got a lot of AKs, which means there's limitations with the util standpoint.
Yeah, gone for the firepower above the tactics, which is kind of characteristic for an Asian team to their credit. The MAC-10 first and foremost against JOTA, and he'll take down DanKing for it. Now the split plane towards the B site will be attempted. 2 in from short, 2 in from Apps. One player in Apps drops that bomb, that's important. Cello even looking for a bit more and almost gets it. The 5-7 indeed can chime in alongside Burns and Scout, doing some damage, bringing it to a 2-on-2 by BnTeT's part. Working with that AK, shot's not connecting as slowly goes for a quick peek, and Exit's left alone.
On 17 HP as well, that is an absolute ripper. Exit trying to force it into the clutch situation, but BnTeT the last one.
Looking in with the AK, firepower advantage. Slowed down as well, 4K up Privilege can win this round, sees the player. Exit tries to fire back. Bomb taps one swing, out 5-7, continuing to tag away at BnTeT. Tapping the bomb for a second time, trying to force this CT player out, and the third one's gonna have to be the stick. The AK now in the hands of Exit here. Trying to look around against BnTeT. His backside might get poked out of the right-hand side of that site. He waits, doesn't know where he's gonna be, and goes for the swing. Exit took a tag, and he will be able to get the kill though.
That's a very good effort from BnTeT. He had able to find 4 in that round, was on for the ace to get the clutch together, and it just felt there for the sake of MIBR. They've got 2 on B. They found a kill from JOTA's perspective at the top of ladder. They had a lot of presence out towards that B site. TYLOO really struggling to get those trades off, and knowing they got a bomb plant, they're actually not on double eco status, Jay. They don't have to force buy this third round if they don't want to.
Yeah, cash involved in this round. It still could enable a force buy that would be respectable at that stage though, so it's kind of a bit of a which way do you sort of fancy. Of course, heavy investment for MIBR could be reset. And they will opt for a kind of a, no, it will be a force buy really. I mean, it looks
eventually.
It looks like it would be a hero AK, but with the Deagles, the Kevlar coming out, they are going to invest into round 3.
And they want to leave DanKing with a little bit more money, considering he's the AWPer of the team. JOTA getting very aggressive, and you start to wonder as well, when do they get the inkling that there's an AK involved? Because you might get a couple of pop shots here or there from the Deags, but there is still BnTeT with the AK.
Tags up onto DanKing. Walking in towards that underpass control. Falls back out of the apartments. There's nothing really challenging here for MIBR directly on this position. JOTA might go for it. Sets the crossfire instead, but burns it in at the window position. And the player also on the short control, but turns around 180 to get the kill. Looking for the triple as well, and he's going to grab it. Everyone picked apart on the TYLOO side as this force spike goes nowhere.
It just felt as if MIBR had a very good read and a stance on how they wanted to control that mid-take. For TYLOO's perspective, they're obviously taking it very passively, Jay. They're not looking to take mid-control earlier on. They're waiting for aggressive approaches. You could see them hanging around that top mid position. And unfortunately, what that means is that there's a triple hold in mid, that they're running into a very heavy control stack, and Burnson and Code just make it look pretty easy.
Yeah, easy triple for him. Working out that mid control, and again with JOTA support. These two players doing well to hold that part of the map. TYLOO might struggle as time goes on. Certainly will struggle in this round. It's only Glocks out. This is the harsher eco for them.
Yeah, can't expect much in a round like this. Even Burnson with the AWP is going to start hearing some of these footsteps. Very pacey on underpass.
JOTA will still get slowly though. Follow up with a double up, maybe even a triple. Indeed, Turtle found one in the interim, and from here it's all falling apart for all 5 alive. So formalities there for MIBR. Now the guns come in from TYLOO.
Yeah, Dan King and Summer are going to be the two guys to really keep an eye out for Mirage when it comes to the TYLOO side. In terms of MIBR, I think JOTA and TYLOO have been able to put up some decent performances. Again, the sample size is a little bit smaller for MIBR. It's their least played map in the entire pool, Jay.
Yeah, again, a bit of an opportunity to punish pick, as they were mentioning over on the desk.
I think it's 89 maps played in the last 3 months, only 4 of which are on Mirage.
I thought you meant 89 maps of Mirage for a second. I was like, wait a second, that's quite a lot of maps playing. No, you're right. 4 out of 89 is not quite a mass amount, percentages or map basis at all. The way in for them. Start out again as favoured MIBR for the time being, and TYLOO were down by a player once again. Vance is peeking in towards ramp, immediately getting the kill on Danking, and no one's there for the trade.
A very good opening pick coming through aggressively with the AWP. Even a crossfire can get set to try and deny any of that mid-control take from underpass. Put that re-smoke down towards the bottom of connector. No one playing in con as of right now for MIBR.
Happy to sit pretty with this crossfire, I guess, from the ladder room and the sniper's nest. One player's going to back away to go for a much more passive position. I think slowly trying to look for a pixel gap there in the boxes. That's a very unorthodox play. Either that or a line up to the smoke. Either way, he breaks it off, put the utility down, and continue to play out the mid-control.
Yeah, MIBR giving them a lot of respect forward now. Even Turtle jump spotting up to the apartments, re-smokes down just under 50 seconds. That's going to stall for a lot of time and even have a flash into mid for an info play.
Now TYLOO to start peeking in case there's someone on short, and there is a player on short. He should not that far forward. Again, it will look to be the B play for TYLOO here. 34 seconds on the clock. Chloe finally isolates his man. Gets the kill on TYLOO. 2 standing on the B site. Turtle and JOTA ready to receive. Incendiary sent down 1 player on the lower part of the bomb site. Turtle will get that kill, but Attacker with a very fast responsive. JOTA just waiting for his chance. Gets 1. Swings back to the bomb planter and gets him the same, but the bomb does go down in the meanwhile, so it's all left to Slowey now in the 1v3 post plant. Might see the one individual, but peek into the orb will lose his life.
Yeah, slowly just not being able to make it happen in a round like that, and you could just feel without checking the bomb site completely and entirely, you're always going to struggle. That's a very good positional advantage to be held behind bench. Yeah, it doesn't deny the bomb from Attacker, but BnTeT gets caught in the apartments. Attacker then eventually falls as soon as that bomb plant goes down, and then slowly, what can you do? You're towards that short position. You've lost all your teammates on the site. It's always so difficult to clutch there.
The round comes together for the CT side once again. 4-1 for MIBR start on the defensive half, and TYLOO got a couple of moments here and there, a couple of great bomb plants, a couple of decent rounds, but nothing major. Just that one being found on the pistol. Since then, it's been all MIBR. The Galil hero buy coming in for the half investment for this round. Turtle already finding Summer. This burns in, catches BnTeT, gets given an easy double, peeks in with the triple, which is not quite as easy. But either way, Dankin's left alone in 1 versus 5 scenario.
And this is always the guy to keep an eye out for. Hasn't been able to get the AWP in his hands all too much so far, Mirage. And trying to get the dig into some impact kills. But as of right now, there's players all around peeking him back forward towards that ramp position. And Burnson is putting on a bit of a show right now, Jay. I mean, you could say a few of his frags have been eco frags. But as of right now, he's getting opening man advantages in rifle rounds. And he's found double digits. He's up to 11 kills.
Yeah, the impact is all you really need to focus on right there. And 11 is still a great number when you consider that the rifle rounds have still been coming in for TYLOO. Forced to invest as well as that hero weapon round, the hero Galil. You just saw from them. So don't try and temper his achievements so far in this map. He's been good. Enough right now for MIBR. Incendiary step back down, flashes forward. Summer, the first man in against TYLOO. Spraying blind against Exit, but peeking back into Total will do no damage towards that man. A 4-on-4 has been gained.
Now that's the TYLOO I know, Jay. Very quick, pacey, out of the gate. Try and get something aggressive down toward that short position. Punish the AWP, but it doesn't happen. Attacker was ready for that duel.
Barnes still won it though. Great kill. Advantage now for the CT side. MIBR happy to sit back passive and wait for TYLOO to make their move. They've gone from that fast aggression right back to a slow default.
Now, Slowly's got to make a play. He's got to be the one to create some space or find an impact towards his connected position. He needs to draw the attention away to make it easier for those ramp players to come out and start maneuvering into a secured A side.
Yeah, smoke sent down towards top con. Shot from Burns in, not quite great on the flick. JOTA can at least take the side player out. So to BnTeT and Danking now making their way in from ramp. Flashes going over. They rotate in from Exit, the AK watching. Flash forward, sees the AWP. BnTeT finds JOTA to a 2-on-2, and Danking with a wallbang headshot. Finds Exit the same. Turtle now left alone. Is he out on his back or is he in with a chance?
Oh, this is tough. No one's even giving him a fight. Danking is going to peek towards CT spawn. And not only, Jay, is that a big round from Danking, that's him getting off 0 kills. We had not seen anything from Danking at all. And in a round like that, it's BnTeT and himself coming out of that ramp position. That looked like it was done. You think about the split play getting denied towards Connector. That's a 2v3 recovery from TYLOO.
Yeah, they're back in control with a decent round to their name, but off the back of 5 in a row for MIBR, can they follow it up is the question. It's been a bit of a common theme over the course of the last couple of days. Can they follow these up? Can they get something back off the back of their initial rounds? They might need to do so, and MIBR are changing the pace entirely.
But BnTeT is actually ready for a slightly aggressive move to come through from that underpass position. It's how far forward MIBR actually cover with this. They've got the AWP and an aggressive stance in the apartments too.
Just waiting with BnTeT. Angle on JOTA, swing, AK, sees the man and gets the kill. Burns in, trades back on Summer. A 4-on-4. TYLOO holding his nerve back here at underpass, not revealing any info. Just press the issue.
That's a very cheeky play to come through from MIBR because there's a lack of information of that second player, Jay. And now for TYLOO, he can start aggressing forward. He's cleared out all of the apartments. Just A stack. Just get everyone on A.
Got his position held and underpass, looking up towards apps. CT's trying to rotate their way in towards the A-side defense and protect against TYLOO, who are inbound here. But again, they're being so slow about this. The utility finally goes over the flash in, catches off the AWP, sends him back deep into CT spawn. But nothing else comes off the back of it.
Oh, very slow, and that's exactly what they're trying to get out of that. Very good pick towards Connector now.
Oh, but the AWP's found a new angle, and Danking's going to fall for it at the head of that smoke. Molotov down from Exit in towards Dark, still drops the bomb carrier. BnTeT to 4, Attacker drops the same. Slowly now, attacking from this connected position, needs to do it all, and he can't get it done against the AWP, and there's a quick response from MIBR to deny that follow-up for TYLOO here.
And just keep in mind, MIBR ranked 2nd in this event on CT side for highest round win percentage at 75, just behind Eternal Fire. So that means what we can expect in the previous game and what we can expect in this series, Jay, is strong CT sides from MIBR.
Well, so far that is what we've seen. How strong will it continue to be, though? A tactical timeout called in by the TYLOO boys. I know that you've got a lot of experience by seeing TYLOO, obviously, from your particular region, Dwayne. And what do you make of how this team can do here in this match? What do you make of what they've done so far and how much potential they could have?
I think they found themselves in a very difficult position when somebody retired after 7 years of TYLOO, when you've got a veteran, a player that made an era in the Asian scene, a part of this lineup. But you think about the experience that BnTeT brings, the fact that he's played in North America, he's played in Europe, he'd always been known as the king of Asia before he decided to make that move over. And knowing that he's played on TYLOO before, it was the perfect pickup as well as Letney.
European persuasion, I guess. That little boost that TYLOO have always needed, doing well in the Asian scene, but then coming to Europe and getting pounded. Can avoid that on this occasion. Summer The Galil first man in, one player at CT, but JOTA goes undetected, gets that opener. Attacker there with a responsive and will continue to look for the player in the dark. Swing out, and JOTA still deals with it, with the kills on the AWP as well. It's a 4-on-2 situation. And BnTeT and DanKing just caught out of this one.
Yeah, it's getting slightly desperate now for TYLOO, just trying to force these fights. Finally, JOTA getting forced out into the open. BnTeT trying his best to even get some coverage down towards A, but they've got to recover the bomb too.
Yeah, out in the open. TYLOO trying to go for the swing, burns in, just checking out that connector control. TYLOO gets tagged up for it, and DanKing able to isolate him in the cubby corner. The AWP continues to miss, but Burns in and Turtle eventually find their frags, and they also find their round. Damaging rounds, however, here for MIBR.
And what do you do about that? You're doing everything right against the AWPer, and he's still connecting shots. 18 frags and 3 deaths as of right now from Burnson. He's having a sick game, and TYLOO are trying to pressure the AWPer. They're trying to peek him together. They're putting util down to him, and he's just consistently multi-fragging. It's making TYLOO's A-take so much more difficult because Burnson is at the fray of it.
And they're going to find a way to lock him down or just find a different angle to attack from that evades him almost. Easier said than done, of course. He's positioning himself all over the map. Now he's in mid-control here at the Sniper's Nest.
And we saw that Burnson went 40 and 22, plus 18, 70.7 ADR, and a 1.27 rating against Koana yesterday.
Required now to get on this defensive line. Smoke set piece. A bit of a variation on the regular smokes. Bunch of them set out to center of sight, so they probably get a bomb plant from here.
Oh, that's a TYLOO special. We've seen this so many times in the past, and the MAC-10 is ripping through the opening pick and damage done to exit.
And TYLOO, however, chiming in alongside exit to return to the man advantage for MIBR. Nades out on DanKing, BnTeT with the Deagle. And watching the burst fire, TYLOO gets him the drop, a 4-on-2 now being gained. Summer and BnTeT watching desperately. The Deagle fires back though. TYLOO removed from play. Summer is back seen. Turtle's caught on the jump up though, and there's a player still closing into the backstab. JOTA's got to be the round winner. He gets BnTeT, swings quickly on Summer. A smoke goes down, but it's not required. The defuse kit is on the man. He's just going to have enough time for this. Be MIBR winning the half at 8-2.
Yeah, that's a TYLOO history book. So you think back over the years when Captain Mo used to be running those, the walkout smokes all around, the ringer smokes as they used to call them, down towards the A side. And hey mate, for an eco that's not bad. 3 kills and the bomb plant. It looked winnable in a certain situation, but just doesn't quite happen. The issue that TYLOO are facing though, Jay, is even though there's damaging rounds, even though they're really targeting the economy, they're not getting enough on their T side. They've got to start putting numbers up.
Offset in for Burns in, a gap generated in that smoke, I assume by the incendiary you can throw down there. Ready for the first shot onto Summer, and did see him, took a quick pop shot back, but didn't connect it, so the T's readjust and make their way out towards mid-control unscathed.
And they have got slowly in towards that connector position quite quickly, and JOTA hasn't spotted that out, so this could actually be a very good wrap if more distraction could get pulled, and if they could put some further util towards this jump spotting angle.
Reposition here on the CT side line. MIBR waiting for their moment to strike. Burns in particular leaning forward, trying to catch an angle on a man. But so far, so little is seen. Again, TYLOO have their positions, and they're waiting for MIBR to make a mistake.
And they've got to try and force this AWPer off angle, and it could be an AWP v AWP duel. Oh, the timing not quite there.
Turns away from it. Flashbang in for DanKing to try and take the angle. Shoulder bait gives up the position to Burns in, and he gets the quick flick.
He's just hitting everything. He is having a sick game right here on Mirage. And again, Jay, the conversation, you've got to deal with the AWPer. They just can't do it.
Yeah, a major thorn on their side. Having that AWP v AWP battle for DanKing will be good enough to try and get that frag back, but you can see he's repositioning on short. Smokes down to try and suppress any vision that the AWP could use and turn their attention towards the B split again. JOTA on the backside, got Turtle in the apartments and backup that can rotate real quick and exit here. Out for one, quick swing from Attacker, does get dealt with. JOTA can't make it a double though. A 3-on-3 with the site being gained, but they lose that advantage. Swing back, AWP's watching, and DanKing misses 11 HP. Swing back from BnTeT's got to be the damage dealer here. And now the second CT player on the way in for the retake.
DanKing's in a good position to play the bait and switch, but BnTeT's going to have to be the one to step up. Got a couple of flashes to work with. The CT's in from market.
A good jump bait to throw the AWPer off, but still BnTeT looks in close. DanKing lands on Burns in, and BnTeT wins the fight against TYLOO. 3 rounds to the board of TYLOO. A bit of an awkward post plant from them, though.
Yeah, TYLOO are ranked second in the event so far on T side for the highest percentage of deaths traded. This is something that we can expect a lot from them, is those quick trades, always picking off one another. And you could see, even though they lose that first player, even though they lose slowly towards a Topicon, towards the AWPer, it's Attacker coming out from the apartments, it's DanKing to follow through as well, it's BnTeT all working off one another to make sure that the site is taken, the bomb goes down, and they win out the post plant.
Took a hell of a lot out of them to do so, though. MIBR will also be limited an SMG per side, but exit quickly, making entries a 10th. The underpass control looks up towards apartments, gets nothing for it, though. It's blind sprays and counter flashes, and well, the T's will get backed up at least a little bit.
Yeah, MIBR, every time they've come close to at least an economical reset, Jay, there hasn't been. It's been the state of TYLOO not quite following up to that next round. BnTeT thinking about some aggression that could come through from that A ramp position. Overall, for TYLOO, you win this round, this could change the complexion of the first half.
Made the difference, at least 8-7 is still possible for them. MIBR may have won the half at 8-2. That doesn't mean they're going to get a definitive advantage going into the second. Round 12 could be their way back for the TYLOO squad. The flashes are set up by DanKing. Turtle not caught blinded by an SMG, backs away. Utility continuing to pour in against him, and there's Summer with the quick kill and trying to double up as well towards the window position. The CT is going to back up and save.
That's a very good take coming through from TYLOO, and I think obviously what helped, Jay, is the fact that before that util is already coming, that MAC-10's aggressive. That MAC-10 was already quite far forward in the apartments that when that util strikes, you just fly out of the gate. Summer trying to get as much pace down onto that site directly, and knowing that Turtle doesn't even get a 1-for-1, you just save. You hold on to it straight away.
Yeah, best call. So far out of the site, suppressed by so many players at a TYLOO camp. MIBR with the right read. Gets the gun by back in for the next round, but it will lead TYLOO onto 4 now for their own board. This is the Chinese way back into the game, it looks.
Oh, we saw that against Strife yesterday. They played Mirage, the pick of the North Americans, getting 9 rounds on their city side, 7 on their T side. So looking at where the scoreline is, roughly, I think 6+, and TYLOO could recover it come the second half.
Yeah, very likely. CT side meta and all. Second half will be the main focus for them, but anything they can get out of this half will be good enough. And there will be guns. Maybe one limit. Nothing major that MIBR will sacrifice for this next round.
TYLOO just starting to get away from that slow start and put rounds up in a row and try and get more out of some of their star individuals. Again, DanKing, we've seen some glimpses here or there, but haven't quite seen the consistency if we draw that comparison with this man up on screen.
TYLOO prodding at the defaults into underpass once again. Apartments taken by Summer, the MAC-10. Flashbang in against the CT side, keeping the player on site completely blinded. Turtle can't see anything. Cello does manage to find a man, and 3 kills pour in for the CT forces. They hold their own. The AWPer DanKing at least with 1 good responsive, but it doesn't look like there'll be any more.
Try and go for another one of those B execs, pop their way through. Turtle at least keeping eyes on any aggression out from the apartments. JOTA's got the backstab, catching off slowly, and now for DanKing, this is an impossible round.
Yeah, 1v4 with that AWP. No real map control to speak of. CT surrounding him in all directions. And not even the bomb on his back. Dropped on the center of the B site. MIBR will take 9. You mentioned how TYLOO could have had their way back into the match in that previous round. Suddenly, that's all just turned to jello.
Yeah, MIBR have been able to find a strong point now in this round, at least, when it comes to the hold towards B. And if we go back to TYLOO trying to avoid the AWPer, well, where's Burns in playing? Window and the apartments. I should say up towards CT at Ticket. So this is probably why TYLOO are putting more emphasis towards B, because these last few rounds we've seen a lot of B takes, and it's probably the indication of, well, we don't want to run into the AWPer.
But again, Cello's been repositioning. He's been out in mid. He's been out on the A site. Sat back in the mid position once again. We're ready if DanKing wants to try to go for some sort of rotate, but not going to happen on this occasion. No way forward, no way back, just a save here in Apps. Might even get hunted by the MIBR players that are looking into that B site. Flashes towards him. Oh, and bullets also coming in for wallbang attempt. I think we'll get away alive though. Yeah, nothing for Cello on this one. That's 9 to the board of MIBR.
Yeah, MIBR working very hard in this first half to give themselves as much of an advantage as possible. And try and see if they can go completely undefeated so far. Again, both of these teams claiming 2-0s. and come the opening matches yesterday. So if you're able to take an opposition's map pick, you could drive that streak even further.
Rifle setting up for Slowy. Flash in to keep him blind, but he still fights against JOTA and takes the opening kill here. MIBR trying for a mid-aggressive setup, but paying for it with a life.
They're slowly getting a really important one. Danking trying to go in for those wallbang shots. Burns in, trying to find the response. Good mid-tape right now for TYLOO, and even eyes down towards a short position too.
Doesn't have much of an angle, however, with that smoke, so we can't get a trade frag, can't get it responsive onto Danking. Might sit there and wait for the position. His teammates peeking in towards short will dish out some damage. Continue to put the hurt up with the nade and bring in a 4 versus 4. And finally Burns in. There's his chance to strike.
Try and get that response. Force the over rotations. You could see the way the bomb is recollecting out towards the A side. And Burns is on for more. He's trying to see if he can get the palace pick too.
Watching and waiting for it. Ready to receive. The incendiary sent down. Well, anyone coming in towards mid or underpass, but the flashes over indicate the A play.
Just knowing that MIBR have got that extra body, exit to play out from CT spawn. Burns could be the distraction, pull as much information over as possible, and he's being spotted. They don't know about the walkout that could come from ramp and from connector itself for Summer.
Burns falls back away with that scope being heard there by Summer. Smokes down on towards connector will allow him to start the peek forward, and the CTs might think it's completely clear, but it's all a bait and switch to back up for TYLOO. Burns watches the bomb, will get planted safely. The retake is on.
TYLOO not going to go through that murder hole, so this allows more time and more composure for Summer to work with. Knowing that he doesn't hear anything, he can focus his attention towards connector instead now.
There's a shot for Burns in. 4-on-2 situation. TYLOO losing yet another crucial player, and now if they can isolate Summer, that might be enough. Attacker's got to get to the defensive line. That bomb being defended only for so long. There's Attacker with one decent frag. No smokes can go down the bomb itself, but they'll get the kill anyway, and they'll hold together the defuse.
Good attempt coming through from Attacker. And that retake coming in. Double digits now up onto the board of MIBR. It just felt there for TYLOO. They needed more players alive. Summer playing out towards that juggle position. Doesn't quite find enough on the post plant itself. And for TYLOO, I just don't think it's enough, Jay. This is minimal on the T side.
Yeah, not encouraging to see how this map has started off for them. Their pick, a punish against MIBR. But the CT-sided nature of this Brazilian squad has come up to aid them more than anything else here in this map up. Tactical call just before the end of the half. But what can they do here?
You've got to imagine for TYLOO and try and work something over towards the B side. I'm thinking about the positives and where the majority of the rounds have been taken. It's been the B splits or just the apartments pops. Over towards that A side, it's been a lack of success. It hasn't quite been the same. They've at least got the AWP back out for Danking. They've got to try and take a few of those AKs out of play early in a round like this, if at all possible from MIBR.
Scopes up for Danking, boosted up initially towards that mid control. Smokes at the ready for exit, nades put down by Turtle. And again, it's all quiet, all careful, all considerate across the board.
That could be a very important duel from BnTeT, trying to get up towards that bench position to look in towards short. And JOTA, even with all of this util going down mid, he's not falling off, he's still holding.
Spots ahead, but unable to get the spray together. BnTeT starts things off on the right foot for TYLOO instead. There's no backup there in the mid control. With that casualty, TYLOO have gained it all.
I do like this, though. Get slowly in towards that ladder room position. Plenty of time to work with. Seems like it's going to be the A split. He could be the late lurk. Orfield Jewel goes the way of Danking this time.
At long last, a frag onto Burns in, taking a while to get there. Here they stand. 5-on-3, making it 2 as BnTeT goes for the swing and exit. It's got to leave the round.
This is looking done. This is looking like a fifth. TYLOO trying to end the half on a high. MIBR trying to get a couple of players into retaking positions, both out from spawn.
Trying to handle this, they don't have much of a choice. But don't have much of a chance either. Flash in for TYLOO. Going for the swing, spray back by BnTeT, confused by where they could have been at. And now it's Turtle left alone in the 1-on-5, catching at least that one casualty onto BnTeT. But sprayed back by Attacker, it will be a 5th round to close the half for TYLOO.
TYLOO struggling in that first half, but it could just be enough, Jay. Moving into that second, we know their CTE side is strong after this break.
Broken bones and a bloodstained flag. Open road and nomadic plans.
Might have dominion over the TYLOO side at this stage. It was 10-5 on their CT side, Dweg. Now as they turn towards the T side half, what can we expect from the Brazilians from here?
Oh, I don't know if it's going to be that positive. They have a round win percentage of 25.4 in the last 3 months on their T side of Mirage, one of the lowest in the entire competition here in conference. And that does come down to the lack of results on Mirage and the lack of stompings come this half. For TYLOO, if they can get off to a good start, this is theirs for the taking.
They won the pistol in the first half. CT side opportunities to try and do something right here and now. Set in with the utility about to be thrown down, the smoke in particular onto the connector position. Attacks forward of attacker, burns in with the kill back, turns it into an advantage as Turtle doubles up. BnTeT can only do so much from Dark, overwhelmed with the numbers game. A 4-on-2, making it 1 as Dankin is left alone. Great tap to burns in at least, but so many more of those to find here to clutch it. A backstab's inbound as well. No way forward for this.
Turtle having a stick sequence in that pistol round, and even Danking just getting trapped in and around, knowing that that backstab was eventually coming through from Turtle. And for TYLOO, they are in a position in which they try and make as much happen, but realistically there for Danking, what can you expect when there's distraction being pulled and Turtle comes out with a round like that?
Yeah, very nice stuff from him. And all held together by the MIBR side. You criticise their T-half for good reason, but this pistol goes their way. And, I mean, it's great for them, obviously, to get the initial sort of momentum, right? In theory, you're looking at a maximum of 13-5 before the true gun rounds come in from TYLOO, especially because they're buying right here now. So for the Brazilians, it's a good start in the second half.
And that's always the case. If you've got a lack of one side or the other, if you can get off to a good start come that half, you could almost catapult yourself to victory. And knowing that TYLOO are going in for this force buy, it is vital for their success for them to turn this around. Even that Deagle that's looking up towards top mid has not spotted Cello out towards the boxes just yet.
Yeah, slowly looking for his way in. Tap on to do the damage to Cello. 93 points of HP now, not much of a bullet to the head.
Now, even Summer playing in towards Connector, holding that tight angle to look down towards Underpass. Very slow as of right now for MIBR, which is allowing TYLOO to get a little bit more map control. BnTeT getting aggressive into the apartments. You still got slowly working with him over towards the B side. And for MIBR, they're actually regrouping to hit B.
Yeah, Turtle in to try and lead the charge. SMG have BnTeT being the first man in, but Turtle immediately swings, gets the headshot together. Decent Deagle back from slowly, desperate to get anything more out of this. The T's about to jump onto the site though, and Mac 10 in close. Turtle will finally drop, but JOTA in with a responsive attacker. Does drop the bomb carrier for a temporary moment. Danking also responds to a 2-on-2, and gets the headshot on JOTA as well, as Summer catches Cello in the meanwhile. TYLOO with a steal.
That came out of nowhere. When you think about MIBR dealing with BnTeT aggressive in the apartments, the trades continue to roll in, and then all of a sudden the Deags come out on top. For TYLOO, they just didn't stop, did they? They kept rotating player after player in towards that B side, and rather than sort of slowing it down and maybe giving the respect forward of allowing that bomb down, no, they just wanted to charge straight forward. Attacker gets into the mix, Danking gets into the mix as well, and a lovely shot to end that round by Danking.
Yeah, wonderful stuff there. TYLOO not giving up till the last man falls, forcing out that first tactical timeout as well for MIBR here in this map.
Yeah, both Slowly and Danking coming over from that E-home side before they joined up with TYLOO. And get that core going. And the last time MIBR played TYLOO, there wasn't a single member of the current lineup playing then, Jay, 2.5 years ago.
It's a long time.
It was a very long time. And that even goes into the conversation more of what Turtle was saying in the interview. They have never played an Asian team.
Finding out the hard way what it is like to play this Asian team. Awkward steals. Pistol might have been gained by MIBR, but TYLOO are right back in control. Their buyout looks far better here. Rifles in, the AK save, but only Deagles on a force buy for the T side. Spread out to the default, looking for that first pick.
Attacker with that MAC-10 in a decent range to deal with exit towards that palace control. And now for MIBR, start working towards that underpass position, out for the apartments as well. And you start thinking to yourself, what's really going to happen here? Only a single smoke to work with from JOTA. It's going to have to be some dry faces in a lot of these duels.
Yeah, he's standing by, ready to receive. Smoke sent down by TYLOO here, and burns him with a swing. Okay. Summer taken back out by the Deagles, and what TYLOO can do to MIBR, MIBR can do the same thing back to them.
Now that's a doming headshot to rain through. Even DanKing getting closer towards that window position. JOTA out on the other side.
Sneaking through, looking at that gap in the smoke. Not aware of where DanKing can be. Check all his corners, AK swings, and the M4 only gets a tag off. Lamar spraying through from slowly, gets burns in next, total tag low as well. Sprayed through the smoke by DanKing. And then the potential win this round from MIBR has been taken away.
Oh, well, that's a bit of a shame, because that was actually a banging shot coming through from Burnsin. Seemed as if there was going to be more impact in the round, but only that single kill gets found. 7 on the board for TYLOO. And now you start thinking about it, Jano. We were kind of weighing it up. It could be 13-5. It's only a few more rounds to play with. Now we're looking at TYLOO. They're bringing back the distance. You're forcing MIBR into a situation where they can't consistently buy. You're putting a lot of pressure down onto really making sure that that early lead gained by the Brazilians does not get held. And for TYLOO, just an opportunity to play their own game and get comfortable in this first map of the series.
Yeah, not much that MIBR can deny it from here on out with. Glocks are in, and that is it. M4 swinging to slowly caught, still dinked down by said Glocks, so maybe not quite as unlikely in the round victory as you might initially think here. Someone's even struggling to do it in the mid control. Gets 2 pills on the return. JOTA and Attacker going back and forth, and eventually DanKing will take a bit more damage of his own right. So quite a heavy casualty round, all things considered here for TYLOO. Exit, we'll see what else we can get on this one. Lead them all the way around towards that spawn position, being flanked, however, by the AK. Good headshot, but the only way back into it from here, but no. BnTeT shuts him down. They do lose a fair amount in that round, though.
And this is one of the first times as well for TYLOO in which they've had a European coach, Jay. You think back to previous coaches, they had Kaza into the mix, which was the next player. They had King Zed as well. They had a few other coaches, all from the Chinese region. They've never had a European coach before.
And that conversation about how they do in the European circuit, right? Again, Letney known for being in the European scene for a while. What sort of knowledge can he impart to this TYLOO side to give them that potential that they need to get into the European scene and get some results, essentially? Right now against MIBR, they're doing decent enough right now to keep pace, but still behind by 3 rounds. So a little bit of work needs to be done with the AKs coming inbound. TYLOO with the opening frag.
Just went slowly, puts that HE down towards the bottom of connected for some decent damage onto Burnsin. He gets responded, and TYLOO might even be out of multi-frag.
Waiting for his chance to strike. I think DanKing knows that he's in there. Either side going to give up the fight. Playing carefully at this moment. A minute on the clock, and the slow walk starts up for MIBR.
DanKing's in a very awkward position because he can't really take off without at least opening up that window of opportunity for the further mid play. And TYLOO now looking in towards window, doesn't see anything towards that jungle control. It's going to be a split into A.
Still stalling on the execution, however. Smokes down from Summer, will suppress. And that's a big smoke at that.
Burnsin's going to have to start making a play. He's going to have to start walking through from this top of connected position because there is so much time wasting going through with this resmoke at ramp.
Second loading utility inbound here from MIBR. DanKing. TYLOO gets the headshot, and it won't force the rotate back. Now down to 2 CTs on the A site itself. Rotations will be cut off for BnTeT's part, so Attacker and Summer, it's all on these 2. The M4's out, striking on JOTA, doing damage, and overwhelmed by the bullet held, sent out towards the firebox, and sent out towards CT.
What a triple coming through from TYLOO, and he was the highest rated player in yesterday's game against Kuwana, averaging a 1.41 rating across that series, and it just showed in that sort of round. Obviously, there's a lot of time stalling. There's some good counter utility in for TYLOO. TYLOO gets both of those kills towards the B site play, up in ladder, out there towards the short control as well, and then initially helps with that strike in towards the A site to make it 3.
The 12th round on the board for MIBR. A big one at that. This was back on track. Regain control, look for that 13th that you were owed in the pistol round. The 13-5 differential is so much more encouraging to a team like an MIBR here, 8-12. Very doable here for TYLOO to bring back. MIBR start the pressure against them, even if the buy-up is favouring.
And we want to see a good Dan-kick performance here in the second half. Averages a 1.20 rating on Mirage. So far, Jay, we've seen some glimpses, but we haven't seen the consistency out of him.
He's going to take that all back towards mid to try and do so. He's caught off on timing, tagged up by the AK sprays, but not taken down yet. Hold out on the short position, expecting to see T-side players to try and aggress. Even those nades don't land that close.
I do like that he's actually backed off rather than try to double dip after being spotted on that aggressive duel up. Gonna get a boost into slowly actually, and Burnson gets caught.
Great frag to start for TYLOO. Rating them forward, getting the picks back, seeing the headshot on the bench position, and TYLOO being a known entity. How will he adjust towards into the sniper's nest? But not able to catch a glimpse of a CT player.
I haven't really seen that many boosts coming through from the window control over the course of this map. And now for MIBR, they could slow the clock entirely and leave cello as that guy to cut off rotates. And what they don't know about is slowly aggressive up into the apartments, though.
They're pushed in. But not that deep into apps. Not like it's like a heavy push forward. Backed up by BnTeT, who will jump face to try to pull their attention away. The eyes on short all the same. The smokes now get sent down towards the market window. Slowly about to take first contact against MIBR. They look towards the player on site. Slowly can get 2 kills for it. Exit and cello with a couple of good frags back. Now BnTeT left alone, isolated in the corner. Dink down to 5 HP. The AK swinging out. Cello's got an easy frag. Now they've got to get the bomb down.
So much time to work with as well, knowing the site coverage that's already been gained. Exit can get that bomb down towards default and now rely on his teammate at bench to hold for the short play.
cello just watching, waiting, the burst fire, the spray through, taps up Summer, gets his head off. 3 kills for cello in this one. The nade bat might catch him, but Dankin switching to an AK and he's hunting for another man as well. Exit with a swing will close out the round to the right for MIBR up to 13.
And this is exactly what you want to see out of a guy like cello, the most experienced player for the MIBR side, the guy that's been on this lineup the longest, just to be able to provide the damage when it matters the most, have some key rounds, have some important ones, and especially on the side in which we've seen struggles in the past. We've seen MIBR not having the strongest of T sides in recent history of Mirage, really coming through with those multi-frags.
Another tactical timeout called in by MIBR. Surprising that it's them of all teams.
It looks a bit grim, to be honest, for TYLOO as of right now. They know for MIBR's sake, a few more rounds and this is done, and it could even catapult itself and rocket forward to a 2-0.
And the loss bonus that they've got right now means that they're on the second stage of the double eco. So harsh pistols in for this round, 14, and then you go to the guns and you try to stop it from there. TYLOO may only have one good chance at making the rest of this map work out. And for a punish pick, it has not been that punishing for MIBR.
Hey, you feel for Slowly, he had a really sick hold out there towards the top of the balcony. He pretty much denied the majority of that B offensive. The problem is they couldn't deal with cello.
Look at how quickly he's going to get involved in this round as well. Straight out a ramp, catching Slowly. Turtle right behind him as the CTs try gamble, stack their rotations in. cello does find Summer out in the open. And JOTA on to so many here. Sees at least one, spraying back on attacker. Danking one decent deagle shot. Now 1 and 2 players that left to play. This one, and JOTA has no mercy for him.
JOTA just cleaning up the anti-eco frags, getting MIBR up to 14. And just keep in mind how tight some of the scorelines have been so far for MIBR. Against Kwana yesterday, 16-11 on the first map, 16-9. Now we could be even looking at the situation of a more one-sided affair.
Indeed, it could well be. Only 2 more rounds to get there for MIBR. TYLOO and their guns, their rifle by what could be their last chance to deny here on Mirage. Down was underpass for 2 individuals. Got Turtle, they've got JOTA to try and receive it. JOTA is the first man forward and sprayed back by Summer, making it look easy there.
Danking passive up towards that van control, just waiting for the aggressive play to come through. And that's exactly what happens. 5 on 3. Now they've just got to get towards connector and safety.
cello backing up. You're thinking of position here in the mid control. Alongside exit. to make their move in. Boost up in particular will try to get towards that mid position, but there's no one there on TYLOO holding, so it's going to be pretty useless.
TYLOO are just playing the numbers game, playing quite passively, close to one another, good trading positions. The last thing they want to do is give up some silly frags.
JOTA, I think, just got spotted there by TYLOO. Certainly has now. Exit responds to him, but a 4-on-2 for TYLOO. And then an exit. Don't know where they're going to go with this one. Burst fire again, dink down towards the T-side players, but it's all going against them. BnTeT even swings with a perfect timing, catching Burns in, looking the wrong way, finishing off the job onto exit, and bringing in a very important round there for TYLOO.
And they call him the Polish powerhouse for a good reason, Jay. And BnTeT being able to consistently put the numbers up. And I think that's always what helps, right, is the fact that he was a star player for the majority of his career before obviously transitioning into in-game leader roles, that he can frag. And he could put up monster numbers for this team.
A chance now for TYLOO to get back into the matchup. Smoke set down towards bottom con. Cello doesn't see Danking just yet. Flash forward, might enable him to do so. No, Danking's got to jump as the slowy find Burns in.
Yeah, what a resurgence this has been from TYLOO the last couple of rounds. Early picks coming in towards that mid-control. JOTA just trying to make sure that he keeps that bomb in hand, and even exit to strike out from ramp.
Catch caught off by Summer. The flashbang does nothing to the CT side. MIBR down to a 2-on-5 situation.
Yeah, it's a very difficult position to try and recover anything from this point onwards. And for TYLOO, I'm liking the strength in numbers. We're starting to feel a real resurgence come back on the CT side. And we always say, Jay, there's always a time to come back.
Is that time now? Right now for TYLOO, it feels like it is.
I think we saw it in the endpoint game yesterday.
We did. 16-14 win.
It was a very similar scoreline of what we're seeing now as well, because Heat were on 14 for quite a while.
Hope it doesn't really affect the MIBR side too much right now. Forced into the save call, it looks like. Back up to the apartments and save these two guns, because 30 seconds to break back into the B site. Still got that bomb just outside the T-Apps entrance, the TV area. And JOTA not willing to peak aggressive, so it looks like they'll just again hold on to those guns. Keep up 10 to TYLOO.
And the last time we saw MIBR in Pro League itself, Jay, was back at Season 13. Only a Core 1, Cello, being the only player still standing around. Yell, SHZ, Bolt, and Dunico, the other few players that were a part of that lineup.
Yeah, made some major changes since that point for MIBR.
Not as much for TYLOO, though. Remember, they were in the Asia Pro League back in Season 12, and they still hold a Core 4. So we're talking about a season even before the one for MIBR, and the lineup's basically exactly the same.
Mostly they've been doing all right? So...
Well, yeah, I haven't been making that many player roster changes, that could be said.
No real reason to change things up as of right now. Maybe on the international stage, that might be a justification. Especially if they can't get this map past the finish line here against MIBR. 4 rounds to make up. And there's a force buy actually in for the MIBR side. Going to buy around these two guns. They get Tech 9s and Deagles for their trouble.
Yeah, some are getting quite aggressive with BnTeT out towards that mid-control. Seems like it's actually a B fake. That bomb hanging around from Palace is looking to try and dive and over-rotate those CTs, but Attacker's not leaving.
And there's Summer with a kill onto Cello. Attacker flick back on Turtle, looked decent, but not quite good enough. Bomb plant can be secured as Turtle will take a frag, or take some damage rather. JOTA there with the kill back on Summer, bringing the advantage in for the C side, but only temporarily. Dankin with a responsive, and BnTeT knows that JOTA's up here in the top mid-control. There's only one man on the site. He's going to get overwhelmed as well. They can stick the defuse, and from here MIBR will concede the round itself. Maybe grab those weapons and save them in for the next, but not going to be a 15th for them.
Yeah, that's always the risk when you go for a play like that, because the bomb's obviously not planted for anybody in that sort of state. You're planting safe, you're planting behind the default position, and while they didn't over-rotate TYLOO, they actually forced Attacker into a very awkward position. He was well in the open to just getting domed from. I don't think MIBR will be too happy about that, though. There was still a force buy.
Yeah, the bomb plant should enable a decent investment for this next round, I think. For MIBR, they had a chance to take the round itself, and that's going to be the main disappointment point for them. Tactical pause taken, and you can see that they have an okay money line with an M4 save.
It's not great.
Okay, not as good as I thought it would be, Dwayne. Is it worth a buy here?
I think half. I think you have to. You've got to give that respect forward when you know the money sits in this sort of circumstance. How low do they buy down? I mean, you got 2,900 loss bonus, so you buy down to like the 1k floater at the minimum. And if you find damage out of this round, it could have some pretty positive ramifications come the next few.
Well, a hero M4 set up by technicality by MIBR. See what JOTA can do with it. Currently one behind BnTeT at 24 kills, the second top fragger on the board on the server. The set piece will come through. Another A hit for MIBR here. Flash is set in. Attacker forced to smoke off the Molotov, sent down towards Dark Turtle. Will try tapping up, but turn his back towards him, giving Attacker a double kill. Cello falling in turn. JOTA can get that one trade, and the AWP of DanKing lands a perfect shot to the rifle. Now burns in an exit. 2 on 4.
I don't know about that player under bout, though. This AWP is still charging forward. DanKing, does he spot him out? No. Burns is still alive.
And hunting for more, not quite going to get the second. Exits Deagle with it all to do. Tapping to the general angle of one TYLOO player, but getting nothing for it. This round will be won by the TYLOO side, as Exit will just look to try and fall down.
And I think the message over the course of entirely Mirage for TYLOO was, we've got some good glimpses, we've had some very good moments, but we haven't had the consistency. This streak of rounds that we've had in the past few has really been the most positive we've seen TYLOO all game so far.
Yeah, really coming together when it matters. Looking for number 12 here. MIBR. The gap is starting to really close upon them. They need to find a counterplay soon. Else it could still be TYLOO taking this map. Entertain that thought from here on out. The Deagle trying to prod out for Exit, but just doesn't get anything at all. 20 seconds. Just got to peek in and go down at some point soon. AWP. Watching from passive, the players also peeked out towards exit position. BnTeT will get the kill.
TYLOO getting more rounds in a row, and you can see there, at least for DanKing, trying to fire the boys up. And if you look at some of the highlights and some of the clips back in the day, that used to be a TYLOO message as such, Jay. Really getting hyped, getting animated, because remember, they were classified as one of those upset teams, one of the teams that would come from overseas, come into Europe and upset a best of 1, a best of 3, whatever it may be, and try and get some of that hype and energy back in their spirits.
Not much energy for MIBR right now, deflated. This round streak has not really been ended against the MIBR, against the TYLOO side rather. Strat book broken out. Discussions being had in this camp. They just need to get 2 still here, Dweg. They're still so close to the end of this map.
We even saw Feletny having some coaching experience with the SC before joining up with TYLOO, one of the Estonian teams, before having the opportunity of coaching the Chinese lineup.
Gun set in. Molotov sent down to MIBR's position. Not allowing any apartments control here. TYLOO will suppress.
Just knowing it's so passive, you want to start taking mid control and start putting Summer and DanKing in a very good position. And knowing DanKing's starting to get warmed up now and starting to get more consistency out of that AWP and putting him to some star positions, get him in towards Con, looking up to top mid. For MIBR, retaking mid is really going to have to come down to how strong their util is.
And they're moving in towards that mid position on their own accord. The smoke down towards Sniper's Nest, but DanKing set here in short. The connector control, burns in, drop, repeat, almost catches the next player, but no, Cello finds Summer as the shot is missed out slowly, however, with a dink down towards the man, 10 HP in a 4-on-4.
That dry like a summer's day. You just saw there for MIBR not using much util at all in that mid control. Slowly might get forced out to the open though.
Does back off towards short position instead, as MIBR can't capitalize upon that kill. Flashbang keeps them turned away, but again, they're starting to run out of time.
They've got to make a decision on where they end up. It has to be a B split, you've got to imagine, Jay, just knowing that that bomb is still in the apartments.
JOTA's made his way out towards the A side though. DanKing fragged and attention being drawn away, but BnTeT stands his ground only for a moment. Turtle takes him and now slowly left as the lone player on short, gets that one frag. 13 seconds, Bomb's making his way out, he's such low HP. A good kill here, could still get the whole round together for his team though. He's being tentative, does not know where TYLOO is inbound from. JOTA also coming in for the backstab, not like it matters. Attackers all alone in the 1v3, he's forced to save.
And just when TYLOO have worked so hard these last few rounds, they give it up there. They allow MIBR to get to 15, and now it's only one more for the Brazilians to take the opposition map pick. And TYLOO with the mid control, while they had that 1-for-1 trade, it opened up so much space towards that short commitment. And then even there for Slowly, you can't rely on him to win the whole round. He's low on HP, he's forced out to the open, he's got to face short and the apartments, and there's no assistance. That rotate just wasn't coming.
And there it is at last for MIBR. Map point on Mirage. Not a map that's got a great history for this team, but could still be the map that sets them up in this series. 3 map points to play with as well. It's doable for TYLOO.
Sometimes the result means so much more than how you actually got there. And for MIBR, you can shrug off how the maps had been played or how the certain rounds had actually come through. As soon as you get that 16, you know the job's been done, and now you can really focus in on your map pick. And TYLOO with another tactical. And you know what, Jay? I will say, I'm super happy that we're getting so many tacks. Because I have a think about the last few games that we've had today, the ones we had yesterday, we weren't really getting that many tack pauses.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a commonality, I think, in a lot of the games that we see here today. Not a lot of squads really utilize all their tacticals.
And I guess because it is that promotion game, because it's the game that advances you into the main event itself, that's why there's so much more weighing on this, and on this first map of the series.
TYLOO and MIBR fighting for one of the most valuable spots in CSGO. Advancement to the Pro League, not in this map yet. This series will start things off on Mirage, and of course a victory right here would aid both sides. MIBR 1 round away from snatching that victory. It all comes on to them.
So it seems like the tentative nature of MIBR and T-side is that they don't want to take mid-control early rounds and that they don't mind giving a lot of respect forward. And Burns in trying to get into a good position. Haven't seen as much from him in the second half as we did in the first.
Yeah, slowed things down quite tremendously here. JOTA's even managed to equalise the kill count against him, 26 apiece. 2 stars of MIBR. Now we've just got to push it past that final hurdle. 1 more round to get. A minute on the clock to do so. TYLOO have given them absolutely nothing.
Hey, there are 3 on A as of right now for TYLOO. BnTeT getting forced forward in towards a connector duel. This is actually drawing more attention away from the A side directly.
JOTA looking for his angle ahead of the smoke in a con. 47 seconds on the clock. And they're working their way in slowly from ramp. Summer and around that corner at the edge of the smoke at dark. Can't quite seem to find them. Vision blocking and nothing gained. Turtle makes his move forward. Turtle getting Summer. The opening frag at a round at last, but only 25 seconds left instead. Round slowly responds all the same though. 4 on 4. The WP sees a player dropping in, but Turtle out towards stairs returns. Danking finally trades him. Time still ticking. TYLOO chimes in. Bomb tapped once. Look to get tapped and stuck a second time. Danking's got to go for the wallbang to get this whole round together, but no, it goes down in the end.
TYLOO playing out for that triple position, just staying alive for so long, and even Attacker's caught behind the smoke. Burns in now, drops him, it's down to Danking.
Sees the first, gets the frag, aware of where TYLOO is. Burns in, waiting for his moment to strike. Danking with the swing, but no quick scope on this one. 16-12, it's MIBR overcoming the odds against one of their worst maps in the pool, defeating out TYLOO on Mirage.
TYLOO thought as if they could get a punishment playing the veto the way that it comes in, and it just doesn't quite rain through. And I have to say, Jay, that slow start in the first half may be the difference maker. They really did not get going in an early start at all.
Considering how things worked out, I mean, you have to take a look at that whole thing and see how the